What if I told you that a single strike could leave 4 million people without water overnight? Would you believe it, or would you question everything you're hearing right now? Because that's exactly the kind of claim spreading fast, and in a situation as tense as the ongoing standoff between Iran and Israel, it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's just noise. Now, before we go any further, let's make one thing very clear. This video is not about taking sides, it's not about hype, and it's definitely not about pushing unverified claims as facts. The goal here is simple: to raise awareness, to educate, and to break down what these kinds of reports actually mean in the real world. So here's what's being talked about. Some reports and online discussions are suggesting that a major water supply system, often referred to as a national-level carrier, may have been targeted, potentially affecting millions. But here's the key detail that changes everything. There is no solid, independent confirmation of this specific claim as of now. And that right there is where things get interesting, because instead of just accepting or rejecting the claim, the smarter move is to ask a deeper question. If something like this actually happened, what would it really look like? What kind of impact are we talking about? Because water isn't just another resource, it's literally the foundation of daily life. We're talking homes, hospitals, food production, power systems, everything connects back to it. Cut that off, even temporarily, and you're not just disrupting convenience, you're triggering a chain reaction. Imagine waking up and there's no water, not in your tap, not in your building, not even in nearby supply points. Within hours, panic starts building, people rush to stores, supplies start running low, and suddenly the issue isn't just water anymore, it's stability. That's why in modern conflicts, infrastructure like water and energy systems are considered extremely sensitive, not just because of their strategic value, but because of how directly they affect civilians. And this is also why claims like these spread so fast. They hit on something real, something people instantly understand and fear. But here's the part most people miss. In high-tension situations, information moves faster than verification. Social media amplifies everything. A single unverified post can turn into a global headline within minutes. Sometimes it's confusion, sometimes it's misinterpretation, and sometimes it's narratives being shaped in real time. That's why it's critical to slow down and ask, who confirmed this? Where is the evidence? And is this being reported consistently across credible sources? Because without that, you're not looking at a fact, you're looking at a possibility. And possibilities, especially in conflict zones, can be powerful but also misleading. Now let's go deeper for a moment. Even the idea of targeting something like a national water system raises serious questions about how modern conflicts are evolving. Traditionally, wars focused on military targets, but over time, the definition of strategic targets has expanded, and infrastructure has become part of that conversation. Water systems, power grids, communication networks, these are the invisible systems that keep a country functioning every single day, and when they're disrupted, the impact spreads far beyond the initial strike. Think about hospitals for a second. No water means sanitation issues, limited treatment capacity, and increased risk for patients. Think about food supply. Agriculture depends heavily on consistent water flow, and even a short disruption can have long-term consequences. And then there's the psychological side: uncertainty, fear, and the feeling that basic necessities are no longer guaranteed. That kind of pressure builds quickly and can change how entire populations respond to a crisis. But again, and this is important to repeat, all of this is based on a hypothetical scenario linked to an unconfirmed claim, and that's exactly why responsible discussion matters. Because the difference between a confirmed event and an unverified report isn't small, it completely changes how we interpret the situation. In fast-moving conflicts, even accurate information can arrive in fragments, and early reports can sometimes be incomplete or even incorrect. That's why journalists, analysts, and even viewers need to be careful about jumping to conclusions too quickly. Now, if we zoom out even further, there's a bigger lesson here about how we consume information in today's world. We're constantly connected, constantly updated, and constantly exposed to breaking news, but speed doesn't always equal accuracy. And in situations like this, where emotions are already high, it becomes even more important to stay grounded, to question what we see, and to look for confirmation before forming strong opinions. Because at the end of the day, understanding the reality of a situation is far more valuable than reacting to a headline. So whether this specific claim turns out to be true, false, or somewhere in between, the real takeaway is this: infrastructure like water systems represents a critical line, and any threat to it, real or perceived, highlights just how serious and complex modern conflicts have become. And that's exactly why conversations like this matter: not to spread fear, but to stay informed, to think critically, and to understand the deeper impact behind the headlines. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want more real, no hype analysis on situations like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Because in times like these, staying informed is not optional, it's necessary. Also, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think claims like these are being exaggerated, or could something like this actually happen in modern conflicts? Drop your opinion in the comments below. Let's discuss this together. And if you don't want to miss the next update as this situation develops, turn on notifications because things are changing fast and you don't want to be left behind.